Hey gamers, Hagasakai Miku. Let's do some trails. We got some hangouts to get out of the way. Ran away immediately. So that's probably gonna take a hot second, but that's fine. Let's fucking get it. Seer channel. Hi. E. Thank you for purchasing one singular power PM, Kazak. Enjoy your power PM. Let me switch my game capture. This is still on alternate universe playbook. Okay. Oh fucking CP. So true. And alright, I'm good. Ooh, hell yeah. More sheep. Let's go. My cat's like looking at me. I've suddenly started talking and he doesn't know what to think about that. Well, but he thinks he wants attention right now. Took less time to get them reap than it took for it to get out, man. How true, Miku. I understand contextually why this dude's thrilled to be working again, but I cannot relate. Woohoo, I'm working again! Our proof-related shares are back to normal again, too! Yeah! We should go tell all our clients! Oh, what a day to be alive! Glad you're happy. 4.5 minutes, my god. Yeah, I mean, if you can beat Gita in less than 4.5 minutes, new world record. 69 RPM, so true! Yeah, you gotta go from 69 to 420. Good day and welcome to the Rhineford Company's corporate headquarters. Feels so great to be back at work. It's been so long since I was actually able to do my job. But enough about me. 420 RPMs is nothing. I mean, compared to what some of y'all have, true. Sorry, cause, yeah, paying attention is hard. Feel free to go inside. With all you Thorskins have done, you can come and go as you please. We have free reign over this entire office building. They don't even care. We could take the place over and they wouldn't even realize. Lady Angelica was here this morning and struck both of us on the head. She didn't tell us she'd be leaving with the other students from her academy while she was doing that, though. I didn't think our sweet time together would be so brief. Congratulations. Double Cotton Garter with their Emperos on Espathra and got killed by 3 Lumina Crash. I see. It's like one better to like 1%. She went healed. It's like, yeah. Yeah, that'll do ya. Just as I thought everything was sorted out, Lady Angelica tells us that she's going to be leaving us. With us. I hope she's not planning to flirt with any girls elsewhere in the country. She's such a playgirl. She has us, so why would she ever need anyone else? I think so. Oh no. Ooh, yeah, F. The town may be made of steel, but its people are not. To see them finally understand each other moves me to tears. I'm so proud of all of you. Do you hope to become preachers of love as well? That's my dream. How do you know? I guess I might as well go into the office building. So true, Seer. We have to determine when one becomes a perfume connoisseur. We have to have like ranks or something. Sir, the orbital computer production line is completely unusable. They made such crazy modifications to it that I can't make heads or tails of the damn thing. Alright, I'll take care of this. Get to work on restoring the design data. Of course, sir. Yeah, fucked it up, didn't they? I think they should have ruined your entire company You didn't hear me that. You didn't hear me say that at all. An
I ate
exclusive
this food.
RPM? Ooh, yeah, we emulators. Let's go. Are you planning to play anything? Plan to be a gamer? Our department's back to work too. So happy I could hug you. I'll try to restrain myself, however. Thank you, Leonard. Oh, I've been dreaming of this moment for so long now. Time to get back to work and no more slacking. Welcome to Rhineford Corporate Headquarters. Allow me to take this opportunity to personally thank you for liberating Ruhr. I guess this is a synonym. Ooh, Mario Party collab, let's go. No thanks necessary. Honestly, that wasn't even our goal. We were just trying to save the chairman for Elisa's sake. Thank you, Reen, for not caring about saving the company. Damn it. We are glad we can do that, though. Yeah, I hope you're able to set it soon. Fun gaming in the future soon, hopefully. As are we. The chairman is hard at work rebuilding the group and trying to get it back to peak capacity as we speak. Once Rhineford returns to normal, Ruhr should follow. Regards to the chef, so true. You could not be more grateful for all you've done. I mean, Niku. Master Reen Schwarzer of Thor's Military Academy, I presume. Lady Elise is on the 24th floor at the moment. She's with Her Highness Princess Alphen at the moment. Will you be going to see them? That was the plan. Thanks for letting me know. Princess Alphen really wanted to check out this corporate building. Girl, your taste. There's so much better stuff. There's not. I mean, Ruhr's kinda. Gonna be honest. I like the design of Ruhr from, like. It's you know, art appreciation, city design sense. I think if I was actually here, I'd kind of hate it. There's like so little to actually do. How humiliating. We were forced to follow the acting chairman's orders to the letter. As awful as that was, things got even worse when we ended up letting those archaisms run rampant in the building. We're in the middle of a complete revamp of our security protocols to make sure that this can never happen again. Yeah, if they bring in archaisms, I think you're fucked. Like, no matter what. Hold on, you're one of the heroes who freed the city! What an honor to be able to meet you like this. Oh wow, this will be quite the story at our next business meeting. I really didn't do much. Honestly, your praise is probably better saved for Angelica. Not at all. There's no way Ruhr would have been freed if not for the courageous. I guess. So on behalf of everyone here in Ruhr, allow me to thank you for your incredible work. Do you have anything for us? Well, thank you for the thanks, I guess. No. An alarm started sounding right when I was about to close a huge deal yesterday. Really scared the life out of me, but looking around at how fired up the staff is today, I've got a feeling today's gonna go really well. Yeah, I'm sure that alarm wasn't for, like, anything important or anything. It just matters that it interrupted your deal. Did I talk to you? Yeah, right. Employee elevator. I'm an employee at this point, practically. They should let me in there. They should give me an ID. An ID, so we can just, like, go wherever. Even just for security's sake. They need backup. And it might as well be this group of high school students. What are you up to, Elisa? I'm just checking out the rooms to make sure everything's in order. Sharon supposedly put everything back in order now that Director Ragner's gone, but still. It can't hurt to double check, right? I'd hate it if he ran off with something valuable on his way out. Yeah, he seems like the kind of guy who develops sticky fingers. Do you want a hand or anything? I'm fine, thanks. I've got a pretty good idea of where everything was, so it shouldn't be too much trouble. Mother's more than busy enough now, so I might as well just get it done. I feel I should help her out anyway. She's fine. That's fine. Is she literally the one who's... No, there's obviously a... Yeah, duh. Princess Alphen, I think I kind of have to hang out with her. I'm not gonna do it, like, right now immediately, but... I hear you've been working hard on all the requests my brother sent you. In fact, he was simply gushing about you. Really? Really? Word of your exploits has been reaching the ears of Western Erebonia, you know? And everything they've heard has been filling them with just as much hope as it has the people here. He asked me to pass along a message for you as well. It won't always be easy, but I hope you'll keep fighting the good fight. I had no idea what we're doing is having an effect on so many people. We really will keep fighting. If what we're doing brings hope to the very ones we're fighting for, nothing is too difficult. Such fine spirit is worthy of a fine reward, in my opinion. Allow me to present you with this. Yo! Is that the last one he needed? I can't believe my eyes. It's a medal belonging to the Order of the Phoenix Wings, the Medal of Charity. It's proof that its bearer has spared no effort in working to help the people of Erebonia. Your classmates played no small part in achieving all that you have, of course, but I'm sure it was only possible because of you. I'm honored, Your Highness. And if you think I'm worthy, then I'll gladly accept. Wonderful, and to echo my brother's words, keep fighting the good fight. In turn, I'll do all I can to aid you. Let's go. What do you actually have for your hangout session, though? Last night I received an invitation to stay here. There's still some time until we have to leave, so I think I'll spend some quality time curled up with these books instead. Sharon's coffee can't be beaten either. In fact, pulling myself away from here may prove to be a real struggle. Maybe I should join her for a while. She seems like she could use some company. That is the plan. Can we actually talk to her mom? It looks like she's over here, unless it's Sharon. Yeah, okay. You've deserved nothing but the highest praise for the way you fought yesterday, Masterine. Were it not for your assistance, I doubt I would have been able to even rescue the chairman, much less liberate Ruhr. You have my heartfelt thanks. You say that like we would have been able to do either of those things without you. This was a team effort through and through. Besides, I'm the last person who deserves any praise. Fucking downer over here. If I'd just been able... if I'd... This sentence, for me. Ruinous! If I'd just been a little stronger, he would still be alive. Yeah, you could just, like, hold the robot together with your hands so it doesn't explode. I think that'd work. As much as I'd like to, I'm afraid I have no right to attempt to comfort you. Not after having done the things I have. I hope you're enjoying my... Sharon? Some might you see your willingness to mourn the death of an enemy as a weakness, and understandably so. But I see it as just the opposite. I see it as a strength that you and your classmates possess. So I won't insult you by telling you it's wrong to feel the way you do. I'm positive that you'll find a way to come to terms with those feelings on your own. Though I'm here for you if you need me. Thank you, Sharon. You also need some water. Suffering over here. There's no one over here, but I like this room. Got all the flowers in it. And a nice view of the city? I don't think there is a nice view of Ruhr, to be honest. It's like... It's a business city. It's a business district as an entire city. So it's very, cold. It's not nice to look at. You know, I probably actually could go out and get those chests I saw earlier. Because there's 2 of them, and also the shrine. As long as I'm able to do that, might as well. No, they're all blocked off. So I'll have to go back there later. Okay, going to the cathedral next. Yeah, as always, the left room. Every single time. I've been told that Sister Quell was transferred elsewhere. I'm so sad she had to leave us. I hope I can see her again someday. Bad news. She's gone forever. It's no easy way to tell you this. Now that the Marquis has changed his position on the war, Peace has finally returned to the city. Seems this is what most of the soldiers wanted all along, deep down. Conflicts are inevitably incredibly tragic for everyone involved, even more so when they're between family members. Welcome to Ruhr Cathedral. I've heard one of the terrorists was called to the goddess's side during the battle at Schwarz Drake Barrier. I'm sorry? Oh, yeah, okay. It didn't initially click that he said terrorist. I was like, who died? Though he may have strayed from the right path, each lost light still makes the world a different place. Pray that he might find peace in his final rest. Thank you. Yeah, poor Vulcan, huh? Although he wasn't sad about it. So who said we have to be? We're no longer part of the Noble Alliance, nor will we play any further part in the war. We will not, however, permit anyone to threaten the safety of this province. Our pride is still intact. Suspicious person will be arrested on sight. So do not push your luck. The Marquis is currently resting in his mansion. To be perfectly honest, I'm relieved that things ended this way. We all care about both his lordship and Lady Angelica. We wouldn't want anything to happen to either one of them. I'm glad they're at least halfway decent-ish. That's something. They say that the modernization of Ruhr was really dependent on 3 people. First is the former Reinford chairman, Gwyn Reinford. Second is President Schmidt of the Ruhr Institute of Technology. Third isn't as well known, but it's the great... Okay. Is it? It's the genius artisan. Artisan. Jackass. I really can't talk today. I'm not sure exactly why. They're all amazing, but they apparently don't get along very well. So you don't see them working together very often. It's a shame, too. Imagine what sort of incredible things they could make if they all worked together. I didn't realize that Jackass was that central to this entire city. He just seemed like a random guy who was kinda in the know, but that's it. Hi, Celine. Hey, Celine, what brought you here? My desire for privacy and quiet. Have you even tried taking a nap on Courageous? Looking at you, you definitely haven't. You look like something the cat dragged in, and that's being generous. Celine? No, I won't say it. I'm better than that. I've been better, yeah. Normally I'd just tell you to forget about what's already happened, but I see we're beyond that point. So, try not to let it shake you too much. Depression isn't exactly going to be our ally in the days to come. Don't let it take over you, okay? It's commonly our ally in other circumstances, though. Sure, I'll say it. You can't say you look like something the cat dragged in. You're the cat. Does she know? Does she know she's a cat? Ma'am, are you aware that you're a cat? Like I said, I can't talk today. But is she aware? Does she know? Man, I must look really bad if even you're trying to cheer me up. So true. I mean, I love her dearly. I think, of all the characters in Trails, I would quite like Celine to get some more merch. I'd like a little figure of her. Don't get the wrong idea here. I just don't want you to take your moppiness and... Moppiness? That's what I get for reading without attempting to understand at all what I'm reading first. I just don't want you to take your mopiness into battle with you and get both of us killed. I'm worried about me, alright? I got it. Yeah, I think she deserves, like, the first ever Cat Figma. That probably wouldn't be, but it'd be real silly. Ruhr's back to the way it was. This is the best. I was hoping this day would come, but man, that's not how I figured Norch's involvement in the war would end. Lady Angelica never ceases to amaze. You'd look all over Zemuria and you'd never find another noble quite like her. Never find a gayer noble, it's so true. And good for her. From the sounds of things, you all fought wonderfully yesterday. It was quite a shock when I heard the particulars of what happened, but I'm glad you're all safe. Thank you, Mikyu. Us too. Thank you, instructor. Are you sure you don't want to come with us? You wouldn't be the first instructor to come on board the Courageous, and we'd be more than happy to have you. I'm certain that if I were to join you on the ship, I would only be a burden. A due in no small part to my family potentially objecting to my presence there and causing trouble for everyone. As inactive as it sounds, I think the best thing I can do for you is stay here and pray for your safety and success. Well, if you're sure, you're sure. We'll try not to let you down. I'd like to imagine that Ruhr will be safe for the time being, but take care all the same. The same to all of you. May Ideos watch over you all. So sad. I'll miss her. Best instructor. Well, shy of Sarah. I'm so glad Mom and Instructor Mary are alright. Thanks for the whole liberating Ruhr thing, Reen. Seriously, I really mean it. I can't thank you and your classmates enough. It's not like you didn't play a part in it or anything. But liberating Ruhr is just one step on our path to liberating the Academy. We'll all be counting on you. Won't let you down. Why won't you join us on the ship? I think it'd be nice. Well, now that Mint's back with us, all we need to worry about is you and Makarov. As I've explained to you numerous times, Makarov and I are certainly friends. But I'm afraid we don't have the sort of relationship you seem to think we do. Oh? Have you got a problem with my baby brother? What's your deal? Get her ass. That's not what I'm saying. And then we got the bar. Who's going to the bar today? In like, what is it? Noon? Early afternoon, something like that. Apparently not a lot of people. Surprising. What happened at this forest Drake barrier is the talk of the town. It's hard to believe the ash-colored night actually exists, though. I've heard all the stories about the Great Knight's ending conflicts, but maybe this means they're not just stories after all. No, it's fake. It's not real. I definitely can't call him right now and destroy your entire bar. Sounds like you had quite the ordeal over at the Swords Drake barrier. It's over now, though, which means you've got some time to relax a little. You know what'll help you relax? A cocktail. Here, I'll teach you. Don't worry, he's not an alcoholic. Yo! Recipe! Marquis Ragnar withdrew from the Alliance? That's good news. Now can I focus on my work without worrying about war on my war step. You hate to worry about door on your war step. War on my doorstep. We've got a lot to prepare with the end of the school year around the corner, along with 2 students who are dangerously low on credits. Good luck, King. It's truly like that out there. And then we got the hotel. Is there even anyone in here besides this guy and the one maid? I heard Chairman Arena has been restored to her position, and Heidel Ragnar is taking a leave of absence from his. Is that all it is? A leave of absence? All of which is a massive relief to me. If the RF group returns to its former glory, our customers should come back. Just hope the war doesn't drag on for too much longer. I'm so very tired of it. You're tired of it, huh? I guess it makes sense that he, you know, not entirely lose his position, considering that, Irina seemingly respected him for pulling that gambit. This maid insisted that I try listening to the radio. Well, I hate to turn her down, I'm really not in the mood for it right now. We interrupt this broadcast to bring you an important news bulletin. We have just received word that an airliner has been hijacked. Yeah, this isn't exactly cheering me up either. Ugh. Well, I'm sure nothing bad is happening over there. Listening to the radio is loads of fun. Here, I'll put on one of my favorite stations. You'll be jumping around with joy in no time. Well, okay. Stay strong out there, Anton. I just think she's neat. She's She's got one brain cell and it's radio. Did you hear? Chairman Arena is back to work. What fantastic news! This means the second factory will be resuming operations too. Need to get back to the office and get my subordinates in gear right away. Hey, I'm back. I don't have the one none anymore. I hope that's not disappointing to you. Looks like we'll be able to get bigger orders of the products in our lineup again. Got through it eventually. I couldn't be happier. Hopefully a little extra commerce helps Ruhr get a bit of its old lifeblood back. I truly don't know what it is. My entire brain and body is just like, you are not voicing dialogue today. Oh, you had hangouts to do? You had story to voice? Good luck and... More proof! Good fucking luck, clown. Can I not? But I can't move? Huh? I mean, I can use the arrow keys. But suddenly, WASD doesn't work anymore. What did I hit? Hello? I guess I can use the arrow keys. But what's happening? I might relaunch? Just because this is, like, inconvenient for me. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. What? I'm glad there's, you know, the arrow keys as an option, but... I'll go to the title first, see if that does it. Yeah, no. I just want to quit. I love technology. Take your time. It's fine. I don't have shit to do or anything. I never would. Video games. Actually, is it working? No! Oh. Well, escape is now working like it should be, and it wasn't before, so there's that, I guess. I cannot comprehend. And there's not even, like, any sort of customization for WASD. So, like, what happened? You gonna look this up? What's happening? Hello? Why is it not working? Is this for the right game? It isn't even for a specific game at all. Thanks. Lovely. I love when I have an incredibly unique, unprecedented issue. Actually, you know what I should test? If my mouse keys are working at all. They are not. That's a very new problem. That's the most interesting problem I've ever had. Every key surrounding it, perfectly fine. Hello? Unless... Yep. Mouse and arrow keys are swapped. Yeah, that's what's happening. Huh? The left eye buy power logo. Yeah, I also have this cheap keyboard I'm using as a in-between thing. that my roommate got from part of a bundle. So that's probably not helping. Left eye buy power logo key is the function key. Hold it and press W. Okay. Why does it do that? I mean, I guess I can see the function of that. Hypothetically. But, huh? Okay, no, okay, I'm just gonna forget that that happened. I don't have to worry about it, you know? That's fine. What? The Alliance is withdrawn from Ruhr? You're serious? Serious? Yeah! Life is good! Life is so damn good! Someone's happy. Yeah, no kidding. Woo! Yay! Hooray for sweet, sweet freedom! Thank you, Goddess. Now we don't have to worry about the Alliance anymore. Yeah, you know, fair enough. It's such a relief to know that this province is now neutral in the war. What our students need is an open, free environment that fosters their creativity, and not lots of military funding. True! Preach! Yeah, I'm finally done. Don't want to see another account for a long, long time. After what happened, the Institute's going to be making an effort to distance itself from the Alliance. At least for now. Which means that things should finally be able to get back to normal here. And that's music... yeah, music to my ears. Now all we need is for President Schmidt to not pull some crazy stunt. But who am I trying to kid? Doesn't care about anyone as long as he gets to have his fun. He literally does not care. Stay safe out there. I'm praying for you. I hope he didn't go too far. More than anything though, I just hope he hasn't gotten himself into trouble. Wasn't he the person we helped during our field study here? Seems worried about something, but I don't know if I'd be able to help him all by myself. Come back with the others and ask him what's up when I can. Well, another thing on the docket for when we leave town. Immediately return. Talk to Rato, and then there's the two, I think, overdrive chests. And then there's the shrine. It's a lot to have to, you know, just set aside for later, which I don't really enjoy. I just want to do stuff as it comes up. Marcos Rogner's withdrawing from the Alliance means that Ruhr's neutral now, right? That's great news. We don't need to worry about being attacked or any of that stuff now. Now I can devote myself wholeheartedly to my studies. Thank goodness. You think that? What time is it now? Yeah, he should be in the building. I'd really rather not see him, but I've got to do what I've got to do, I guess. Time to try and arrange a meeting. Knowing him, he's gonna be exactly the same as I remember. Whoever he's here to see doesn't sound too happy about it. Maybe the guy that the receptionist was talking about? Who sucks? Hi, Cordy! Hope you're having a good day. What you doing? I'll be taking a look around the Ruhr Institute of Technology soon. It's practically the premier technical university in the country. So I think any time I spend there will be to my benefit. Heading to bed now? Good night. Oh, you're getting internet tomorrow. Hell yeah. Good timing, too. Because then I'll be able to do funny video game stuff. The day after, but you know, still. Good night. Have a good rest. Love you. I would imagine so. We did go inside during our field study, but that was just for Professor Schmidt's request, so we didn't explore much. Still, it's very you to make a break for the nearest school when we finally get a little time to rest. Well, if there's something I can only see while we're here, why wouldn't I? Maybe you should do the same. No better way to lift your spirits than to get your mind off of what's getting them down. I'll keep that in mind. Thanks. Maybe he's right. Checking out the Institute probably would cheer me up. I mean, technically it's Friday. Because it'd be tomorrow night. But also, I mean, No, but it's, wait. Because it's officially time zone-wise Friday for me. And it's currently for your Oh! Listen. My reading comprehension. But yeah, good night. Have a good rest. I was over here trying to figure out calendars. Listen, everything is confusing. We were talking about two different things that happened at two different times. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid this factory is closed for the time being. Frankfurt Group is currently reorganizing after what happened. So for now, this factory is out of service until further notice. I would think so, yeah. What you looking at? Hey guys, you highway bound? That's right. I figured I might head out and fish for a while to pass the time. Oh. One of Gwen's favorite fishing holes is supposed to be out there, so I thought I'd give it a try for myself. Oh yeah, I know that one. It's not far from where our boat first landed. What if that would actually happen? Like, I wonder if that line would still come up if I hadn't fished there. Just be careful, though. The monsters have gotten a lot tougher than they were when Gwen used to fish out there. Oh, I will. Don't worry about me. In fact, you shouldn't be worried about anything at all. Take some time to de-stress yourself while you got it. Everyone has times when they just need to open a window and let some fresh air into their lives. I'll give that a try, thanks. Maybe fishing with Gaius would let me open that window you mentioned. I'm very tempted. Is Gaius my beloved? And also, fishing? My beloved? What's going on over here? Sure it's okay to be treating us like this, Devance? Sure am. Drink up. It's all in the house. This is the time to be celebrating. That's how I ended up helping her. Who could say no to Lady Angelica? Oh, now I getcha. Knew you were up to something. So what'd you help her with? Don't tell me all you did was give her a place to sleep. Of course not. Be better off asking what I didn't do. You should have seen me, pistol in hand, taking the guys after her out like you were nothing. That's my man. Wahaha. I don't buy it for a second, but that's one hell of a story. Yeah, I don't either. Duh. That's what I said to them. I said, you underestimate a miner, and that's the last thing you'll ever do. Come on, what else you got? Yeah, we want to hear more. At least they're having fun. Oh, hello there. I'm sorry about all the noise Devance is making. He always has to exaggerate. Didn't do a darn thing like that and he knows it. She says right in front of them. Anyway, never mind him. If you're hungry, feel free to order away. Can't celebrate without a damn good drink, and today is a great day to be celebrating. Here's to the liberation of Ruhr. Was it really all that? I guess. I ain't buying anything other than the you helped her bit, but that's good enough for me. I hope you enjoy my life. I was like, man, that's not working out, so I'm just gonna cancel out right here and now. False start, no start. Who cares as long as things are back to normal around here? That's a little better. Old Devance really knows how to treat its customers right. Hey, Yuna, bring me another one. You're... and you're a little bit rude. But, you know... why do I have to do this? You won't even pay me with Mira. What kind of job pays with books? I don't even like books. Here, you take it off my hands. Funny coincidence. That's the chapter I needed next. The food here is so filling. It's great. I love the Nortian seasoning, too. And once I'm done here, it's off to a business meeting a little farther up north. I wonder what wonderful business opportunities will be waiting for me. Girl, you're so valid for that. Hi, Reen. Hey there. Glad to see you're taking it easy. You've earned it. Right back at you, Angelica. Are you taking a break together, then? We certainly are. Nothing makes me happier than spending some quality time with my dear sweet Toa. George is at the Institute, too, so it's just the two of us. And it's about time I whisk her off into our own private little world. No, Angie, stop. You really haven't changed a bit. But in a weird way, I've missed this. Now we just need Crow. Yeah. Our crew won't be complete until we drag his ass back home kicking and screaming. Maybe I should ask to join them since I'm here and all. Would Angelica want that though? Excuse me. So I'm sensing that'd be a no. Time to visit an asshole. First of all though. My husband came home. There's another NPC named Celine. Okay. The mind is finally free now. Better yet, there's not a scratch on him. I couldn't be more relieved. Adios, thank you so much. Man, it feels good to finally get to come home. Celine and Todd are both doing okay too. What a relief. Guess I got a lot of thank yous to make for all this. You, your friends, Lady Angelica, I owe you all my deepest gratitude. Good for you, dude. Dad came home! Finally! He was gone for so long. Mom was worried sick. That means he's gonna have to get me a few toys to make up for it. Hell yeah. Sarah just checking out Jackass's store. Grandpa, how did I get good at hide and seek? What are you, stupid? You hide in places where people won't find you. That's what I mean. How do I find places where people won't find me? Luck. Things might be getting back to usual around here, but I've got to look into a little something for old Gwyn. We both know there's something going on in the shadows of this war. But outside of that, we're both in the dark. Can't exactly leave Locomo and go looking into it right now, though. Gonna have to wait for things to settle down a bit. Oh, Jackass. Everyone's favorite guy. I think I already looked through this. Yeah. Alright. Nothing super interesting. Nothing I can't come back for either. Jackass is doing some maintenance on my orbital gun for me. With a name like that, I wasn't sure what to expect when Elisa introduced me to him, but he seems like he really knows his stuff. I just wish he had more of a refined, dandyish aura about him, sort of like Gwyn. Then he'd be more my type. Gwyn is your type? The inside of your head must be a terrifying place to live. You have no idea, Reen. All kidding aside, though, you should take this chance to make sure all your gear is in good shape. There's no telling when you'll need to put it through some hard use, and it always pays to be prepared. Maybe I should take this chance to have a look around here, too. Tempting, actually. Because I imagine bond with Sarah is a bit low, since I generally don't really use her. And also, Jackass lore. You gotta see it. Feels good to have production getting back in gear again. We owe it all to Lady Angelica, too. Haha. Yeah, Every one of you is this, like, just the exact same person, it feels like. It'll be a while before we're back to producing anything. They basically use our factory as a giant storage cupboard. Before we can do anything, we need to clean and inspect every last piece of equipment. Ugh. Fighting aside, we're still a few hundred times... Few hundred? We're still 100 times better off than we were a few days ago. What do we have here again? It's just upgrades and stuff, I think, but... I can't believe he was actually right. Because of that, Kleist & Co. now has a major new contract with us, with terms that are hugely favorable for them. That Hugo boy is a businessman to be reckoned with. Yo. Alright, that's the last of my business here for the time being. Preparations have been made, dotted lines have been signed, I've just got to get in contact with our capital office. Looks awfully busy. Guess inviting him to join the Courageous can wait until after maintenance is done. Yeah! Factories that turn out consumer products are at least starting to get back up and running again. We did, however, end up signing a contract stipulating that 10% of the goods we received go to Kleist & Co. I'm impressed a young man like Hugo Kleist was able to predict that this would happen. Predict what? Like, did he make a prediction and, like, if he was right, they would sign the deal? Or, like, what is... What's going on? Still no new master reports. I forget what actually costs that, if it's like story progress or what. This is my first time seeing Ruhr. Must admit, I'm very impressed. My expectations were high given the Reinford Company's presence here, but I can safely say they've been shattered. I think the single shop alone has more types of Orwell goods than the entirety of Legram. I feel kind of like a child in a candy shop. I keep, you know, it would serve me well to read. I feel kind of like a child in the candy store, to be honest. There's so much I want to look at while I'm here. I could go for some window shopping. No, you can't. Not an option. And then that's also like one more thing I need to go and do once we leave town. Is run back and recruit Hugo. Aren't you one of the Soarer students? Thank you so much for all you've done. Oh, Spillert. You've given the city its pride back. Gay rights. With all the factories they've modified to produce weapons, we still got some restoring to do. But that's for us to worry about. We'll be happy to. Thank you again for bringing the city back to life. Man, you're already all the way over here. I almost fell over when I heard that Ragnar decided to proclaim neutrality. Now that he has, though, I know he'll stand by it. He's a man of his word, if nothing else. Better yet, if he does, the provincial army will fall in line too. Looks like we can finally rest easy. Yo. I also didn't notice that Elliot was over there. Guess what? Lynn's sister is here to see her. I'm so glad to know she's alright. Lynn's been ever so worried about her. They're catching up with each other inside right now. I decided to give the two of them some privacy. And if any customers wander in? You've all done a remarkable job. Thanks to you, we were finally able to make our return to Ruhr. We'll be leaving a number of our officers at the station. Hopefully that'll help to stabilize things in this province. But there's no telling what the future may hold. I haven't seen you since what, your last field study year? Good to see you again. Seems to me you've all grown a lot since then. Thor's clearly taught you well. But you can leave the cleanup here to us. We'll do what we can to ensure that order is maintained. Thanks for not leaving that to a bunch of children. This city is so amazing that I almost can't take it all in. It's not so much a different city as it is a different world. Nothing is familiar. I know a lot of our classmates feel this way, but I grew up in such a rural area that I can hardly believe what I'm looking at. Yeah, I felt the same the first time I was here. It's a far cry from Ymir, that's for sure. Still, while you're here, why not walk around to take in the sights? It's a bit intimidating, but there's a lot to see. That sounds like a fun idea. And Reen? I know it's hard, but I hope things get better for you soon. Thanks, Emma. I hope so too. Maybe she'd appreciate a guide. Ruhr is a big place and all. Is it? The dog, though. Who would have expected that Her Highness Princess Elfin would grace our humble presence with her presence? Humble. You sure? I'd heard that she was under the Alliance's control in Heimdall, but do all the rumors matter at this point? What matters is she's out of the capital and free now. She's the hope of every single Airbonian. This is a little baby girl. I'll be heading out shopping soon. From our perspective, causing one of the 4 great houses to withdraw from the war is a momentous achievement. But for my brothers, it's likely all within the realm of expectation. I doubt we caused them a moment's hesitation. The only thing it's done is reclassify us as more of a threat, so we'll need to be more careful than ever as we fly around. Yikes. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Still, I would not advise becoming so cautious that we're unable to get anything done. That's a thought for another time. Right now, we should focus on taking some time to unwind. I think I will. Thanks, Eustace. I think it wouldn't be so bad, but maybe I should join him in shopping. Go shopping! That seems to be half of the things we're, like, offering to do here. I can't stop thinking about our field study from earlier in the year. Sure, it was tough, but it was fun. And V was still alive. Yeah, even if we did think he died back at the mine. I'm guessing the news of Via's actual death has probably reached Crow by now. Wonder how he's taking it. Sorry, it was probably super insensitive of me to bring him up. Just try and cheer up, okay? Ellie's definitely worried about me. Maybe we should hang out for a while. Sit on the bench together. How did I miss Milliam? Also, you? Did I talk to you? I'm on my way back to the mansion. Try as I might to bring Lady Annabelle home, she's not having any of it. Still shocked by how much she's changed since I last saw her. She was never so selfish before. I don't know how I'm gonna avoid telling your father about all of this. Well, fishing is an honorable career, and don't worry about it. I guess the Eisencraft's pretty much stuck in Rumor Station for the time being. Well, better than stuck under Alliance control, right? Now that I think about it, I never went and got what I left in there a while ago. Maybe I should grab it before it starts running again. Maybe I should tag along. It'd be kinda cool to take a look around inside, too. Yeah, we kinda had to rush through there. Didn't really get to sightsee. Our factory's open again! Yeah! It's time to get back to making orbital lamps, and orbital stoves, and orbital fridges, and orbital radios, and orbital everything! Ah, so good to have work. You must an engineer without a job. I mean, a lot. Excuse me. Good day to you. You must be one of the Thor students. After all you've done to our city, you're more than welcome here at any time. Yeah, let's go. Free airship takeoff viewing at any time. Any y'all who would love to hang out near airports? Horrible pants! So true, Red. Heading back to the ship, Reen? Yeah, you know, just don't worry about it. Didn't say horrible pants or anything. Nah, not yet. I'm just wandering and trying to figure out what to do. If I really can't think of anything, I'll probably go check in on Valimar and then laze around inside. I'm exhausted after everything that went down yesterday. Me too. It's hard to get what happened to V out of my head. He might have been our enemy, but he gave his condolences for our boss's death back at the Vine. So it's hard to hate him. He did, didn't he? I almost forgot. Guess it makes sense that I'm not the only one who feels down after all that. Might do me some good to spend some time with V since we're both here. No, it's... you gotta spend some more time running around the entire city while you're trying to rest. This definitely isn't counterproductive in any way. How's it going? Just leave the courageous maintenance to me. Been watching this ship since she was a few lines on paper. She's like a child to me now. Time to get her cleaner than she's been since she first took flight. Blah, blah, blah. First took flight. Suicide by unstables, all that, yeah. Ah, well. Should I go and check in Valimar in the hold? If I do, I probably won't have the time to do anything else out here. Looks like the maintenance is nearly finished. Are you sure? That seems like it would take like 2 seconds compared to most of the hangouts here. Go into the Courageous, go down to the hold, look at Valimar, be like, hey, what's up? You doing good? Okay, cool. Leave. Like, I don't think... It's fine. It covers it, though. Alright. Got hangouts with, basically everyone, it feels like. I know I definitely want to hang out with Princess Alphen just because I can't get bond points with her any other way, and same for, Toa. So those two are, like, guaranteed. Let me check for everyone else, see who I'm low on. Oh, but page 2. Actually, surprisingly, I'm doing pretty good for Sarah, although she's one of the lower ones, actually. And I can't hang out with Angelica. Toa might count for that, though, so, I mean, there's that. Oh, but, like, I do wish it would show you your bond with the characters who you can't, you know, like, do anything in combat with, you know, who aren't actual fighters. Because, like, just hiding it for, you know, funny, secret ending reasons is like, I get it, but still. You show the bond increasing after the actually, yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it shows you the bond increasing after you do the hangouts with them anyway, so, like, you would think. Seems easy enough. Eustace would make sense. Eustace and Gaius. I think past that point, I could reasonably just, like, go by whoever I, like, am invested in the most for, like, you know, whichever one of their hangouts sounds nice. Obviously, I've got the fishing one checked off, so there's that. What else did people want to do? Because Elliot was just worried about Reen. Laura was doing some window shopping. Machias was going to the Institute. Emma needed a guide around the city. Elisa was cleaning up her residence. Milliam needed to find something on the train. Fee was just hanging around the airport. True. It would be good to... by the way, I'm just like... my throat clogged as hell. I'm having such a time. In case you're wondering. But yeah, it would be useful for that, but I'm not so worried about getting her to level 4, because, like, she's already that close. So, like, if I really wanted that, I could do that through just, like, grinding anyway. But yeah, then... Sarah... What did Sarah want to do? She was at Jackass's. That should be the last one. And she's a bit lower anyway, so... Yeah, so that's Sarah, Alphen... Toa... Eustace... and... Gaius. Eustace is literally right here, so I might as well. Should I join you? Honestly, shopping for supplies sounds like it might relieve stress just as well as a nap. Do what you will. My first stop is to RF Arms. Looking for some arms? I think you already got 2 of them. Are you really going to use all these whetstones on your sword? How much reinforcing tape does that hilt need? Better to be too well prepared than found wanting in a pinch, particularly with the future as uncertain as it is. I expect my father is already aware of what happened to your Nortia. Knowing him, he's probably already preparing to retaliate. Maybe you're right, especially with him working on a soldat like these for his own personal use. Which is why we prepare ourselves as best we can for whatever lies ahead. Speaking of, I still have a number of other things to buy, including a book that the war managed to delay. Come, we're going to the general store. Okay, sure. We're starting to pick up a lot, though. Think we're gonna be able to carry all this back to the ship? Huh. We aren't doing anything. You are. Oh, Eustace. What? Hurry and take these to the counter. We don't have all day. Lovely date. I think my arms are starting to go dead. How'd you end up getting me to carry all this for you? Very easily. I mean, I guess I could have said no, but still. Come now. You wouldn't make me waste my strength on such a heavy load, would you? Besides, given all that time you spent assisting the student council, I'd imagine you're used to menial tasks like this. Just pretend I'm Toa. Doubt you ever gave her any guff, no? There's a mental image I wasn't prepared for. Better that than leaving your mind free to focus on burdens you need not shoulder. Come along now. That's actually kinda sweet. Sort of. Wait, is he trying to keep me busy so I don't have time to think about what happened yesterday? That's really nice of him, in a cold, off-putting, useless sort of way. Even so, I'm grateful. Reinvigorated by Eustace's awkward show of kindness, Reen carried his baggage from shop to shop without a single word of complaint. The two spent a long time in each shop they visited, scanning the shelves and putting more and more onto poor Reen's pile. While the experience was exhausting, it didn't indeed take his mind off his worries. Bleh. I get what he's trying to do, but I don't know how much more of this my arms can take. Come on, Eustace. You can at least take something. Anything. Eustace? Something in that magazine caught your eye? What is that? It's not the Imperial Chronicle. Yeah. Not wrong, Red. Look for yourself. The Noble Alliance marches to victory? The glorious Noble Alliance, led by Duke Cayenne and the Chief of Staff, Rufus Alvarea, continues their victorious streak. Their quest to carry the country into a new, brighter future feels all the more complete with each new success. It should only be a matter of time before the foolish Imperial army is eradicated once and for all. Oh, this is quite the article. Not exactly going for the unbiased approach, are they? Of course not. I imagine the writers are just as much under the Alliance's thumb as those at the Imperial Chronicle. They're trying to manipulate public perception of the Alliance in preparation for their rule after the war is won. Both Duke Cayenne and my brother are thinking of not only how to win the war, but how to control Erebonian afterward. It's how far ahead they're able to think. Sorry, Eustace, this must be hard on you. Still, that doesn't mean we're going to lose out by not doing the same. Right this or get thrown into jail with all the naysayers, exactly. Instead of focusing on the way things might be, we should focus on the here and now, what we can do to change things. If we do, I'm sure the future we want will fall into place. Wouldn't you agree? Well, I wouldn't disagree. So what if they're thinking 3 moves ahead? That all falls apart if we do something to shake up their plans. And that's just what we'll do. We'll get to the future we want. Think you're capable of such positivity so soon. But I suppose you still have much more of a capacity for it than I do. I want you back to your usual self as soon as possible, Reen. We won't be able to secure this future of ours otherwise. I'll see what I can do. Their shopping complete, they lugged their purchases back to the Courageous, stored them in the ship's hold, and went back out into Ruhr. Yeah. Words! They're hard. You're right, Reen. All I can do is stay focused on the present and hope that everything will fall into place. But you should make sure you return to your normal self as soon as you can. We cannot advance together if either of us is unable to walk. Oh, right, I was gonna talk to them. Forgot to go into the store. Guess it's good that this side quest got me into here. Hang out, you know what I mean. Hello, Reen. Hello, Reen. Can we not do this? Just for today? I feel like I should wear a shirt that says, I'm sorry about her, or something. You should. Ah, come on. I'm just having a bit of fun with my 2 best pals. Besides, it's been so long since we've seen each other that she probably missed all the teasing. Really? I'm just so happy to see you again. I was so worried all this time. I never should have left you alone like that. You must have been really scared. I'm so sorry. I should be the one saying all that. Oh no, here come the tears. I do. Yeah, Vivi's great. I enjoy her. You're such a dummy, Lind. There. It's great to see the 2 of you back together again. Reen, we owe you so much. We might not have ever seen each other again if not for Class 7 and the Courageous. Now it's time for me to return the favor by joining the crew and doing all I can to help out, and quitting my job. You better. Since I'm gonna keep spicing up your lives as the ship's sexiness officer. It's not a... I don't think any airship... That's... nothing. Never mind. I know you're trying to joke to cover up the fact that you're crying, but it's really not working. Boo. Fine, let's just get back on the ship. Follow me. I'll show you the way. Alright then. Thanks, Reen. We'll see you later, okay? See you on board. And there they go. Imagine if I just, like, hadn't brought them on board. Like, how would she have felt? Lynn finally found her sister. Or maybe it was the other way around. Either way, it's good news. She told me it was her first time working in retail like this, but she still did a pretty good job. Good news for you. You now are down to just 1 Linda. And what a nice girl she is. I'll support her no matter what she decides to do from here. Whatever it is, I hope she does it I hope she gives her very best. Yeah. Also, she used the right name, which is impressive. She got it down eventually. Anything special here? Yes. I really haven't been reading anything this entire run, and maybe that's for the best. Yeah, I'll go down to do Gaius's since these are done here. Well, how about we fish together? If it's good enough way for you to unwind, it's good enough for me. That's what I like to hear. Fishing! Let's go! Reen and Gaius made a beeline to Gwyn's old fishing spot on the Spine of By Road. Once they made it there, the two got right to fishing. On the one hand, I really want to grab a snack right now. On the other hand, there's a cat in my lap. He's very cozy. He's been here all stream. I don't know if I can move him. Oh. Feels like ages since I just put my cares to the side for a while and cast out a line like this. Yeah, ever since the war started, we've had no shortage of things to be worried about. Probably healthy for us to take the opportunity to unwind every now and then. Yeah, even now, I'm feeling all the built-up tension just kind of soften and melt away. Did you fish much back home? I got in some good rod in real time, sure. Hardly as much as Gwyn, though. He used to take me out on his boat to fish, especially when he could tell I was feeling down about something. Huh, really? He always seems so composed. Guess I just assumed that nothing ever really got to you like that. Yeah, that's embarrassing to admit. We've all got our worries. Don't fret about it. Sure, I feel down sometimes, but it always passes in time. Back home, I was always surrounded by people who cared about me. Mom, Dad, my siblings, neighbors in the settlement. Whenever I started feeling down, they were there to cheer me up. And I always tried to do what I could to be there for them in the same way. That sounds like a good life. And that's how you became the dependable Gaius we all look up to. Well, I don't know if I go that far. Still, I'd like to think that if there's anything you need, you'll be able to rely on me. This class would never have come as far as we have if we hadn't supported each other along the way. You're right about that. Make sure to keep it in mind. Monsters! Darn. Might have noticed them earlier if we'd been paying more attention. This reminds me of when I rescued Lieutenant General Vander a year ago. But at least that time I had a horse. Well, this time you've got me. True. Together we can take them. And then it skips through the combat, because we would never do a combat in a hangout. Drawing their weapons, Reen and Gaius fought valiantly against the horde of monsters. And despite being vastly outnumbered, they triumphed by making the most of each other's strengths in combat. Well, I'd say we managed to beat the odds, wouldn't you? See? You are dependable, just like I said. Takes two to cover each other's backs. Whenever you need me, I'll have yours. Likewise. He could have died if he went fishing on his own. He probably wouldn't have, because he's Gaius. But hypothetically. The battle won, they made their way back to Ruhr. Okay, what next? It'd probably be smartest to do Sarah's. And then I could go upstairs and do the ones over there. Or no, because Toa is also on the lower level. It's just Alphen who's up top. Real high too, she's on the 24th floor. On an already elevated building. Wild shit. Say, would you mind if I hung around with you here with you until your maintenance is finished up? Now that I look around, there seem to be a lot of things here worth checking out. You can if you want, but I think what you really need is something else. What do you mean by that? Get your sword ready. As soon as he's finished with my gun, there's somewhere I want to take you. Combat training! As it turned out, that somewhere ended up being the Nortia Highway. Alrighty, I don't think anyone's gonna come barging in and disturbing us all the way out here. Yeah, I doubt it, but why did you bring me here in the first place? You told me not to forget my sword, so I'm guessing it's not a date. Pshaw. You've never been on a Sarah date. Those always involve combat. Anyway, I hope you're ready to get all hot and heavy with me, as we pour ourselves into no-holds-barred combat training. Are you kidding me? And this time I'm not going to hold anything back, so you better be ready. I want you to fight me like your life depends on it. Because you can leave this little excursion one of two ways. Walking with your head held high, or on a stretcher. Ugh. I do love her. I don't know what brought this on, but I can see this isn't one of your usual gags. In that case, I accept your challenge. You'll get only my best today. So began their intense battle. True to her word, Sarah came at Ring with all the fury of a raging storm, despite bringing the best of his skill to bear, who was just barely able to withstand her assaults. Ugh, how are you so strong? So this is what it's like when you're not pulling your punches, huh? Damn straight. The world's not a nice place. It's not a fair place, but I've fought tooth and nail for my place in it anyway. The world takes it from you too. The world takes from you too. I've almost lost count of how many irreplaceable things it's taken from me. So many friends, allies. I don't even have a homeland to call my own now. Instructor? Lore? But I did whatever I had to do to keep on living no matter what. And I stand before you now as the sum of those ugly, painful experiences. Life will knock you down over and over again, but if you rise just one more time, that makes you the victor. And that's something I've kept on believing, and seeing you students give it your all has only strengthened that belief. That's why I've decided that everything life has taught me in the School of Hard Knocks, I'm going to teach you. Not through words or lessons or fancy platitudes, but through battle. Legend. I'm ready to learn. You might have gotten the better of me before, but I'm ready for round 2 anytime. Attaboy! Let's not waste time chit-chatting then. You ready? They resumed their battle, and the intense training continued. Green focused everything on the fight, fending off Instructor Sarah's onslaught as best as he could. And after a long, difficult fight... Surprised he didn't go ultra form, you know? Looks like neither of us has the energy to go another round. Guess we'll have to call this one a draw, but at the very least, I'd say we gotten some good training. Well thought, Rain. It's kind of scary how strong you are, though. It was all I could do to keep you at bay. I didn't even get a proper hit on you in the end. You could have, though. All you would have had to do was fire up that power of yours. And you should have, since, you know, I specifically told you to fight like your life depended on it. But it's acknowledged. Take down Valimar, you know, like, if your life depends on the fight. He's there. Just messing with ya. That consideration you always show for others is part of what makes you strong. I know you're still beating yourself up over what happened yesterday, and that's totally understandable, but at the end of the day, you gotta get past it and move on. No one can do that for you. But you will, though. I have no doubt about that. So, just keep your chin up and your gaze forward, I guess. Can you use that form inside of Valimar, I wonder? Would it do anything? Anyway. Thanks, Instructor. I'll try at least. A lot of people are counting on me, and I don't want to let them down. I don't want them to let me down. The two stayed and rested for a while to get their strength back. And once they felt better, they walked together back to Ruhr. And he was like, yeah, I can't spend time checking on Valimar. That'll take up too long, and I won't be able to hang out with anyone after that. You know, it's just too much. Meanwhile, we've had a fishing trip, a shopping trip, a combat training for a significant length of time. Whatever's gonna happen here. Nothing heterosexual, I hope. Hey, would you ladies mind if I joined you? Not at all. I guess we'll have to pay for you since you're the bright-eyed first year. So true. This really is relaxing. The tea here is nice for a working-class diner, isn't it? I've always been fond of this place. I always used to sneak out of the mansion for some to relax like a sweet and innocent young maiden. Angie, you aren't supposed to be drinking alcohol, and yet. Forgive me, my dear. Still, it feels like it's been ages since we were last able to sit and talk like this. Settling things with my father paid off. It really has been too long. Yeah, it has. Hold on, your hair's looking a little disheveled, Toa. What? Is it? Well, that makes sense it might, I guess. Ever since I started wearing that captain's hat, I haven't been paying much attention. That won't do at all. Your hair's so long and beautiful. You need to take better care of it. I know, why don't I comb it for you? Would you mind? It's been so long since you last did it, I kinda miss it. They're so close, it's adorable. Yeah, they're sweet. That should do the trick. They actually had a model of her with her hair down? What do you know? Huh, wow. It's kinda strange seeing you with your hair down, but I've gotta admit, it really suits you. You think? She looks surprisingly mature when she has her hair down, doesn't she? Cuteness and maturity. The best of both worlds. She's such a queen. How recently was this game translated? I mean, I guess it's... Queen's been around. Okay, that's enough, Angie. Can I please have my ribbon back? Nope, not yet. This is my chance to try all kinds of fun things with your hair. I've got a collection of ribbons stored away for the next time I got to play with it like this. Stay right here while I go get them. I support it. Hold on a minute. Too late. She is unbelievable. I don't know, Toa. There's no harm in spending time like this together once in a while. When you think about it, these are the kinds of peaceful moments we're fighting to return to. That's true enough. Angie and I were recently talking about how things would have been if the war hadn't started. If we were still at the academy, our time there would be rapidly coming to an end. We're second years, so this is the time we really need to be thinking about what to do after graduation. Oh yeah. Have you been able to give that any thought? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm fortunate enough to have received offers from all kinds of organizations and ministries. George has gotten them from research facilities and institutes all across the country. And Angie seems to have a lot on her mind about what to do, too, with her family and all. I've got my work cut out for me if I hope to be in as good a position as you guys when I graduate. You are still a first year, so I wouldn't sweat it if I were you. You've still got plenty of time. To tell you the truth, though, I think this war has made all of us more unsure about what to do. Even assuming that when it does end, we're able to go back to our lives like they were before. I feel like we have a duty to think about this country's future. Just picking some career off a list isn't good enough. I'm amazed you're thinking on such a grand scale. Personally, I think I've got my hands full just thinking about my own future. I skip past that. Just can't compare. That's not true at all. I think it's only because of you that we're able to see things like this. Sorry? Well, your class is the source of hope to all of us. It's only because we've got that hope that we can believe in what we can... that we can believe in that we can even think about what to do after when the war's over. Yeah. That we can believe in that we can even think of... Okay. I know how to read things. I promise. As long as you're out there fighting to bring it to an end, we can all believe the end will truly come. So, let's keep fighting together, okay? We were able to save Angie. I'm sure we can do anything else if we put our minds to. You think so? What am I even saying? Of course we can. I feel a lot better now, Toa. Thanks. Glad I could help. Oh, did I miss something? That was fast. Oh, you're back. If you wanted to enjoy a date with my little Toa, you should have asked Rain. You're the only man I'd even think of entrusting her to. Would have helped us set things up nice and smooth. What are you talking about, Angie? Let's see all the hairstyles. They won't. Angelica made her way over to the table and went right to work trying an obscene number of cute ribbons on Toa. Rin casually sat back and enjoyed his cup of tea, every once in a while cracking a warm smile at an increasingly flustered Toa. Yeah, I need to get her to level 5 if I want her ending. I'm probably not gonna go for it, but I'd like to have it unlocked. Just for the sake of it. If it weren't for Class 7, we wouldn't even be thinking about graduation right now, let alone what to do after it. So let's keep fighting. If we were able to save Angie, I'm sure we'll be able to do anything anything else we put our minds to. Not only did you schedule a romantic rendezvous with my lovely little Toa, you did so right in front of me. That takes some guts. I figured I was the apex predator in the courting kingdom, but maybe I better watch out for you. Yeah, no comment. And then we head up to the top floor. Not what I wanted to press. An elevator cutscene. And then choose up in the library, like study area. If I can get around a door, that'd be great. Cat currently demanding attention. So I can't do too much. Mind if I stick around a little longer? You weren't even here until 2 seconds ago, but sure. Not at all. We don't get many chances to spend time together like this, so let's make the most of it. I've been hanging out with you at every opportunity. But yeah, sure, whatever. Wild to think she has her own special ending. Rin could never say no to some of Sharon's coffee and in fact asked her to make another pot for them. With that, he and Princess Alphen spent some time perusing the countless books gathered in the library. I don't know about all of you and like what your goal is when you play games like these. I personally am just setting up Rin to be future royalty. That's the end goal right there. This coffee really has a nice aroma to it. Doesn't it? Sitting back and enjoying a cup of Sharon's coffee engrossed in a book. I think I've found the very definition of bliss. Well, I can see where you're coming from. Never ceases to amaze me how many books there are in here. Or even the variety of topics and genres represented. I guess Gwen has always had a pretty broad range of interests, though, so it makes sense that his library would be as diverse. Indeed, but that only makes it more difficult to decide which volume to read next. Although I must admit, I was a little disappointed to find one particular genre unrepresented here. Oh, which one? The titillating tales loved by fair ladies all across the Empire. Stories about the lives and loves of handsome gentlemen. Books that warm the hearts of all who thrilled to their prose. Oh, those books. I remember you saying those were pretty popular at St. Estrella too, right? So, does Elise, have any interest in those kinds of books? It's so much more magical to just leave the truth of things to your imagination. We're talking about a realm created by and for pure-hearted maidens, after all. It's not a place where gentlemen should tread lightly. Fair enough. I'm curious, but not that curious. Try to at least regulate your corrupting influence, though. That'd be great. If that's what you truly wish, I suppose I ought to respect your wishes. But teasing her is my most cherished pastime, so I'd really prefer to keep it at that. I wonder if she realizes her struggles are mainly just for entertainment. Still, teasing her or not, I'm glad Elise has one close friend she can depend on. Or setting up Elise as royalty, like, these two... It would be a lot better than what Elise is currently trying to do. Oh, and speaking of entertaining pastimes, I actually learned a delightful little card game called Blade from Sharon yesterday. Perhaps we could play a few rounds together? Yo, we're not actually gonna get to play it, but like... Also, did Sharon teach you Blade 1? And Blade 2 is right here. That sounds fun. I accept your challenge. Breen got the cards and began what seemed like it would be a few quick friendly games of Blade. As they played, things unexpectedly ended up getting fairly heated, which each of them determined to come out on top while holding nothing back. Trying to flirt with the wall. Yeah, right? In the end, the time they spent playing together was as enjoyable as the time they'd spent reading. I need to get into modding. Solely to just remove every single incest scene from this game. Like, all the weirdness with Elise. I guess I'd just be removing Elise at that point, and I don't want to do that. She has so much potential to actually be a good character, and yet... This really is quite an amusing little game. It's nice that even an inexperienced player like me doesn't start at too great of a disadvantage. Yeah, the updated version has a lot more strategy to it, though. But you know, I have a lot of fond memories of this version of the game. I almost can't help but like it. So I was joking, because she said Blade and not Blade 2, and it was like, well, obviously she means Blade 2. They just, you know, it was like more natural in conversation. No. In fact, Crow was the one who gave me my very first deck of Blade cards. Oh, really? It was sad to see the two of you fighting each other, especially after all you've been through together. What is it that forced the two of you to fight like this? Well... Ultimately, I think it's a battle of wills, and both of us are too stubborn to just give up and walk away. What do you mean? I still need to finish the Ymir drama. God, I keep forgetting. I might do that after stream, depending... Because I was thinking I'd probably do a shorter stream just because I'm a little EB and also can't read today. But we'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. I'll end the hangout sessions and see what's up next. Go from there. Maybe do the shrine if I can. Breen told the Princess Elfin about everything that had happened between him and Crow. As he went dredging up those memories from what seemed like a lifetime ago, he went through a whole spectrum of emotions. Yet through it all, she had quietly and considerately listened until he finished telling her all that there was to tell. You could think of it as a high-stakes game of Blade. Crow on one side, me on the other. Is it? Neither of us are willing to compromise on the things that make us who we are. Our beliefs, our pasts, our friends, this is already stepping away from Blade. Without compromise, all that's left to us is to meet each other head-on and see who comes out on top. I guess that's Blade. I just hope that while we're doing that, we'll discover where life will lead us and what to do with ourselves after this is over. I see. Boys will be boys, I suppose. But hearing you describe it, I almost envy Crow's position. Huh? What's that? Oh, I just meant Elise would probably think that if she were here now. Envying Crow, I mean. After all, it's almost like fate is pushing you and Crow together. It fills my imagination with thoughts. I can't even say anything to her about this. Because I do ship that. A little bit. Kind of a lot, actually. Anyway, just a word to the wise. Guys aren't too hot about being paired up with their male friends when they don't lean that way. Literal canon confirmation? Hello? Canon straight. So sad. Big Alpharine. Wild considering all the hinting otherwise. Well, like it or not, I consider myself somewhat fully invested in this little battle of wills now. So I intend to stay with you and see how it all pans out. Yeah. God, with a hatchet, Jesus. That's some... He's pretty strong, even as a little baby. You're more than welcome to come along for the ride, Your Highness, wherever it may take us. Damn, only level 4. Thought we were further than that. Didn't think I was, you know, level 5 yet, but I figured I was like same amount of bond that I was with Toa. Sad. But it is funny seeing them unlock new little battle things, because of course, I doubt she's gonna be playable again, so it's only really gonna be relevant for New Game Plus. That's funny. All that done though. Actually, I should talk to her to see what she has to say, like, after having finished that. I'll be sure to watch over that fateful clash between you and Crow when the time comes. Especially since it's sure to lead to some juicy developments for us ladies. So true, Queen. I guess I shouldn't call her that. And now there's literally nothing to do but return to the Courageous. Even if I wanted to. No, I want to... Please. I don't know how I managed to do that many times in a row, but... made it work eventually. This is not the right bridge. On we go. Let's go!
Here's a bonus from the Academy.
Sugar Omega.
Well done! Oh, okay.
What? B? That's a first. Also the... Oh, okay. What did I miss? Apparently a lot. Hidden side quests. My beloved. Just show me where all the side quests are so I can be satisfied with having done them. So annoying.
How are you feeling, Valimar? The battle yesterday must have been pretty hard on you.
I am fine. The damage to my armor and lost mod have largely recovered. I expect to be in peak condition before our next battle.
He says as if he knows when that's gonna be.
That's good to hear. Just listening to you talk, you really have changed since we first met. You seem to be talking a little more like a human now.
Yeah, actually, I was about to say.
Is that so? That would suggest that my memory is slowly recovering.
See, that's the thing, is that I encountered the one, shrine, but we weren't allowed to go there at the time. And then by the time that whole story section that, like, was stopping us from doing that had ended, we couldn't go back out. Like, I'm not sure when I was supposed to have done the shrine. Or whatever it's called. And it's also, like, there's also the little chests as well. I don't think those are added to score at all. I'm, like, actually certain that they aren't, but, I was, like, pretty confident that this was, like, a, you know, as soon as the Courageous leaves, you just go straight back and do all that stuff.
What's that now?
The part of me in which memories are stored appears to be damaged. I have very few memories of the past, such as why I was sealed within the old schoolhouse to begin with. This includes my memories of language. Thus far, I have had to rely on the preset bare minimum of speech functionality. However, thanks in
Thank you, guys.
to your assistance, my speech functionality is slowly beginning to restore itself.
Does that mean that your memories of the past are starting to return too?
It is an indistinct memory, as if clouded by white noise.
Thank you for the hydrate, I will.
I seem to recall some burdened by a great sadness, much like
In this
yourself.
range.
That obvious, huh? I look that burdened to you?
Yeah, to everyone, bud.
Someone died right before my eyes, and I was powerless to stop them. But the more I think about it, the more I realize that I might have been able to stop it from happening.
No, you wouldn't have. Oh hell yeah, Cossack, let's go.
And that regret's like a thorn stabbing into my heart. Was the person in your memory able to move past their burdens?
I am unable to find any numbers to answer that question. However, I believe that your sense of regret is an entirely natural process for humans. Is that not the case?
I wonder who is the old awakener was. Lord Michaels!
Well, yeah, I guess.
Give thought to what you would do differently if confronted by the same situation again. If I can aid you, I shall.
Yeah, you're right.
Hell yeah, Umbreon, let's go.
I can't undo the past, but
Good
I can
things.
at least make sure I don't make the same mistake a second time. Perhaps considering how to do that is the best thing that I can do right now. Thanks, Valimar. I feel a little better after talking to you.
Then all is well. I am afraid I must return to sleep. Should you require my aid again, you need only to call my name.
I need to keep on getting stronger. Strong enough that I can protect the people around me. The ship's maintenance is probably almost done now. Maybe I should take a nap or something while I wait for the others to get here?
Let's go, re-nap moment. Fuck.
Yes, this is Rain Schwarzer speaking.
Hey there, Reen. George here. Do you have a minute?
George, is something wrong?
Well, I'm over at the Ruhr Institute of Technology at the moment, and an acquaintance of mine here has a pretty interesting proposal regarding your Divine Knight.
That's what he was waiting on.
How soon do you think you can come over?
A proposal? Who is this acquaintance of yours?
Well, it's the Institute's president, actually.
Knew it!
Professor Schmidt, the Empire's foremost orbital researcher.
And that about tracks. Only 3 quests, huh? Recruiting? Huh. I don't know who that would have been that. Oh, you know what? I would have had to go back. No, but I couldn't go back to recruit. Oh, what's her name from the cooking club? Because I couldn't go back out there. And then there's the other guy, the like, who was making big cool business deals, and I was explicitly told like he was busy and I need to come back later. So like, what? But also, why is this not voice acted? It seems kind of relevant. I guess that's kind of par for the course, though. 2 AP for each recruit. I don't know when I would have recruited them. That's weird. Because it seemed like they couldn't be recruited at all. Like they were specifically delayed on recruit for now. And there's also Mint. But she is, you know, explicitly is staying there. Be before. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I figured I could still do it later, but like. Yeah, it's a poison type Greninja. The name's G. Schmidt. I serve as this institute's president. I certainly was expecting the pilot of that Ashen Knight to be only a boy. The Alliance ought to be damn near ashamed of themselves if they keep losing to a snot-nosed brat like you. I don't think that's any way to talk to a person you've only just met. Besides, he happens to be one of the students who helped get you that minor medal earlier in the year. Right. And? One of the students put out that request without any input from me. You should be kissing my boots for having the honor of assisting with my research, however indirect it was. Some things never change. Yeah. I am planning on using, probably Clodsire, but I was also thinking Gastrodon because of Water Absorb and, forget what the other skill was, but you know. Yeah, I feel like I haven't seen most of them, despite having gone around the entire city like 3 times over now. So that's... huh. Storm Drain, thank you. Putting that aside, is it true? Were you the one responsible for developing the Panzer Soldats? It is. Duke Cayenne made their request and I agreed to it. I use the ancient robot, Ordine, and society's archaisms as a reference point. Thank you for all the help, Red. Also, I should say, sometimes I just truly, as a JRPG fan, sometimes I really hate JRPGs. You know, sometimes it's not fun. Might not be in the city. There's only 2 locations to go in this chapter, though. It's the city or the, barrier. You're trapped there. Then designed a frame that could be mass-produced even with the Rhineford Company's technological capabilities. Afterward, I drew up plans for several models and oversaw the completion of a Draken prototype a few months back. Why do you ask? Do you have any idea what you've done? You're wasting your time, Reed. He develops whatever catches his interest, loses himself in it until he's done. And to hell with the consequences. Can we kill him? That might seem a little dramatic, but can we, like, The railway guns and Guerrilla Fortress and the orbital wave jamming device in Nord were both designed by him, too. If he made the railway guns... Why do you consider him an acquaintance? Monkeys have the twin dragon. We couldn't get there though, right? If we're talking about like points for this chapter, were we entirely restricted to Ruhr for this chapter? Because I'm pretty sure we turned in everything before going here. Unless like it would. I guess you could hypothetically have gone to places before going to Ruhr and getting trapped there forever. But, like... I guess that's very JRPG. That's fucked up. That's like... That's just not fun at all. Day 1920... I wish I knew when that referred to. Unbelievable. An engineer doesn't strive to satisfy his intellectual curiosity. It is a sad sight of an engineer. We just design things. It's up to their users to decide what to do with them. It's your fault if you design a super weapon and it gets used as a super weapon. You're every, like, American engineer making, like, fucking, machine learning systems and only feeding them photos of, like, white people and being like, oh no, why we can't recognize anyone else in photos, like... Do you get it now? It's because I couldn't cope with this part of him that I ended up going to the academy over there. Yeah, I totally get it, unfortunately. Alright, what made you come visit the professor to begin with? Yeah, of course. That was what I called you here for. I was hoping I might be able to get some kind of advice or pointers from him. You know, about getting a new weapon for Valimar. Oh. Oh, shit!
And if I might be so bold as to offer a word of advice, get Valimar a better sword. One like yours. If you think you're such hot stuff you can beat me without your 8 leaves training, you're in for a world of hurt.
Correct choice of armaments is indeed paramount. Selecting one the Awakener is well suited to will increase combat efficiency exponentially.
George told me about what you're after. He says you want a weapon capable of fighting on equal terms with the Azure Knight. We might have gone our separate ways, but he's still a former student of mine. I'm open to the possibility of designing something for you. Really? You'd make a weapon for Valimar? I said to be open to the possibility. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. If you want my help, I have one condition. Cimmerian ore. Ring any bells for you, Irene? Oh god. I think so. You used that to make weapons for us before, didn't you, George? Oh, you know of it. Saves me the effort of explaining, then. It's an extremely rare ore found here in Cimmeria. It's an astoundingly strong material that possesses a mysterious radiance within it. What's more, as I learned while developing the soldats, the frames of the Divine Knights are made up of that very ore. Your Ashen Knight included. I had no idea. The double saber Ordine uses appears to be made of it too. Which, as I'm sure you figured out, means if you're ever going to compete against Crow, you're gonna need a Tachi made of Zemurian ore too. To make one, however, you're going to need vast quantities of ore. Yet it was only recently discovered how to refine the ore at all. Processing will be immensely difficult. But bring me the materials and I'll be willing to assist you. The concept of a weapon that can compete against Divine Knights is of great interest to me. Even when you're helping people, it's only to help yourself. It'd be nice if you were doing it to atone for developing those soldats, but I can't picture those words coming out of your mouth. The very thought makes me ill. Bear in mind, Zemurian ore is an incredibly rare material. I doubt you'll find enough of it to get the job done. Still, should you pull it off, I'll design you the finest Tachi you've ever laid your eyes on. My name is an engineer, I can promise you that. Thank you, Professor. This will be a great help to us. Rare or not, we're gonna find all the Zemurian ore we can to make this work. I'll keep my expectations low. The advice Rain received on forging a new weapon for Valimar came from a surprising source, but they could not have asked for better. After politely excusing themselves, Rain and George left the Institute to reunite with the rest of the crew. Once the maintenance was declared complete, they boarded the Courageous and departed from Ruhr. I really am gonna need to speed through the game in New Game Plus off stream. Nightmare World. I suppose need is a big word here, but well, I mean, it's time since I'm gonna be playing through all of Trails in the Sky and probably Trails from Zero and Trails to a Zero if that comes out before I'm done with it all, which seems probable. I have to tell you, I'm impressed. I was expecting this beauty of a ship to be on the feisty side, but she's a real sweet girl. Of course she's the pilot. Literally who else? Cutting through the clouds like this feels wonderful. I could get used to this. Wow. I can't believe how quickly you've gotten the hang of it, Angie. Well, I'll be damned. Looks like you won't be needing me around any longer if you're this good with her. Why, thank you. I hereby accept the positions Chief Helmsman and Courageous Second in Command. She really is amazing. There's no one out there who can tame a vehicle as fast as Angie. We're not gonna have to worry about a thing with her around. Moving right along, the good news is that we were able to liberate Ruhr. I don't think any of us could have predicted how much the war situation would change in the process. Marcus Ragnar and his provincial army withdrawal from the conflict will have a profound effect going forward. Losing one of the key members is bound to be a painful loss to the Alliance. For one thing, it should make things easier for Lieutenant General Vander in the 3rd Armored Division. Their greatest concern before now was the Nortia provincial army, after all. So the Alliance's overwhelming supremacy is finally starting to sway. Only in East Erebonia, though. They still come out on top in the West. Right, Prince Olivert said as much too. General Le Guin and Brigadier General Bardius are out there claiming one victory after another. And then there's your brother, Eustace. He's a brilliant leader, and it shows. I see. Be that as it may, all we can do is focus our efforts on the Eastern Front for now. That's what we were entrusted with, and fretting over things we can't change won't do us any good, right? I suppose the lads we left over in the West are, well, they're just not doing as good of a job. Not to disparage them. As putting it into perspective, yes. Got our hands full over here as it is, so let's make every moment count. Time to get back into gathering all the info we can. Speaking of, mind giving us an update on the situation with Valimar's weaponry? Ah, right, how could we forget? Professor Schmidt agreed to cooperate with us, didn't he? Cooperate is a strong word, Elisa. He only cares about what interests him. That it ends up fitting us is purely secondary. And remember, he's only going to help us if we happen to find enough Zemurian ore to make the weapon. How we're gonna get stuff that rare is beyond me, though. Yeah, that much of it also. That's a big sword. You said that Valimar himself has made the ore, did you not? You wouldn't happen to have any ideas, would you, Emma? I'm afraid the Haxon clan knows very little concerning the creation of the Divine Knights. Some legends passed down through the clan say they were made during the time of the Great Collapse, Specifically, they were forged by artisans who called themselves gnomes. What? Huh, that's an interesting name. I know the term from old stories much like anyone else, but I had no idea a band of artisans with that name existed. Early mastered both arcade and Bander's School of Great Swords. We know Laura's school and the other is family that acts as the royal family personal guard. In regards to the... the Gwyn. Ah, yeah. Supposedly, they once worked closely with the clan's ancestors, but somewhere down the line, the witches and the gnomes ended up parting ways. I couldn't tell you exactly when. What? How curious. Don't know what that line was supposed to be. I clicked once, I promise. Maybe so, but none of that's gonna help us find any ore. Our chances of finding enough were pretty slim to begin with. I know where you can get enough, but only if you're willing to overcome some very difficult trials to obtain it. You do? Really? What do I have to gain by lying? You're aware of those strange ruins scattered all over the country, right? Yeah, like the one that you didn't let us do earlier, Angelica? Oh yeah, where the higher elements were active? Those are the ones, they're called spirit shrines. They were built on top of septium veins long ago by the gnomes to encourage the formation of massive Zemurian ore crystals. Those crystals were in turn used to create the Divine Knights, so if there's any place in Erebonia to start looking for the vast amount you need, it's there. I had no idea. Why didn't you tell us this before now? Am I supposed to be a mind reader? Wasn't exactly relevant until now, so why bring it up? No need to bite our heads off. Hey, she told us now, right? All we gotta do is go to one of those shrines and we'll be rolling in ore. Let's hope so. We've got a lot on our plate checking up on the country, but exploring a shrine's been our best lead yet. And no matter how difficult it might be, a little thing like a trial isn't gonna scare us away, right? Right! It's just that easy. With the discussion coming to an end, their destination had been decided. Before departing, however, Class 7 thought it best to check if there were any new requests from Prince Albert. And their timing turned out to be quite apt, as they'd recently sent several their way. Gone Air. Finding the bell. So here's the deal, an airliner got hijacked. Oh, that's actually relevant! That wasn't just a random sad event. Okay. An airliner got hijacked mid-trip and went missing, but we managed to track it to the Isengard range. Right now, the hostages are all still inside, so we're gonna rescue them. It's gonna be tough given that the hijackers are armed, but that's where you and the Courageous come in. Toa can give you the specifics on how to reach us, but we'll be waiting in the Isengard range. See you there! The sweetest of challenges from Blue Log. Oh my... You accepted something from him? Okay. I don't know what I expect from this guy, though. The princes... He sucks. Anyway. Dearest ladies and gentlemen, I have taken the liberty of calling upon you for a request of my own, unbeknownst to my worthy rival. Oh, I see. The game is just being weird. Ah, they have history. Interesting. I've left a letter in the location indicated by the blue cross. I think you'll find it well worth your while to read it. Now this suggests that I have been pronouncing Croizen entirely wrong this entire time. But I don't want to believe that it's pronounced Cruisin'. That can't be... I'm just not gonna... It's not pronounced like that. Croizen Ferbersen. Imagine Eustace Alvarea weeping for the safety of his province's people as they're being chased through the streets by a ravaging monster. Surely you would not let a dire scene like that come to pass, would you? The battle is set, and the North Croizen Highway awaits. Abaddon! I get it. It's like Abaddon. What even is that? I know that term from somewhere, and yet my brain. Hold up. Google time. Right. Place of destruction and an angel of the abyss. I gotcha. Okay. The more you know. This one's for Klein. I'm happy to see that Hibel's with him too. Not so happy about the airliner going missing though. So you are a little happy. Yeah. I'm just gonna run around and recruit people who weren't available quite yet. There was a side quest that we couldn't do yet in the Institute. That was, like, very explicitly like, we should come back here when we have our friends. It might have been that was available earlier, like, when we were running around the city and I just didn't see it, because I almost missed the guy over in the corner. But doesn't seem like something we can afford to ignore, dangerous as it sounds. But look at this one. Phantom Thief B? What's this about reading a letter? As if we have the time to be concerning ourselves with this pathetic antics. I know what you mean, really, but ignoring it might be even worse. She's got a point, you know! Yep, we've got our work cut out for us. Hey, Reen, I want to help look for everyone. Look out for everyone. Yeah. Let me come with you, okay? Of course, Fee. You're always welcome. I think Celine and I should come with you while you're exploring the shrine, too. I was about to say the same thing. Make sure you're ready before you go. I wasn't kidding when I said the trials are difficult. Interesting that Fee is the one guaranteed bring along for this. And I love that they didn't even have a particularly good reason to force her to be in your party. They're just like, she just wants to go. We couldn't think of, like, you know, any story purpose for it. She's just here. Which is interesting because it would suggest that there's nothing particularly, like, story relevant to Fee on that level happening anytime in the story, because they would have saved it for then. You know? Like the way they required you to bring... shoot, was it Elliot for the one mission? Where you're going to rescue his sister? I mean, generally they've been doing stuff like that. So that is interesting. But yeah, I'm sleepy. I didn't stream very long today, but I'm tired. I need to get some food. I'm clearly not at my best for voicing lines. I can't do it. My head is not screwed on in all the way, clearly. So the sounds, they're not coming through properly. Neck faults. I'll look into it. I probably just need to sleep. But yeah. Thank you for joining me, even though it was brief. Got some good progress. Now we have some things we can take care of next time. Hopefully I'll remember to take a look around before we go off and do that. But yeah, I'll see if we can find someone to raid. Let's see. If Firefox will load. Browsers. Yeah, I was also, like, really hoping that there wouldn't be some expectation of, like, you visit every single town in between every single, you know, story segment, every time you get that opportunity to do it. Because that's just, like, that's just tedious, you know? There's nothing really fun about that. You're just, like, doing a job at that point. It's like, okay, I'll check this location, and this location, and this location, this location, this location. Okay, 2 more things have happened. So now to go back and recheck this location, and this location, and this location, and talk to every single NPC. Like, to an extent, it is, like, a JRPG thing, and I can appreciate, like, rewarding players for fully exploring the game. But when you're graded on stuff, it's a little, like, It now feels, like, required to do so, and that makes it less fun and optional and more like, oh, I have to do this. And the characters in the game will be sad at me if I don't. That's just my own preferences for that kind of thing, though. I don't know. And, like, hidden quests are also... I'm, like, conflicted on those in general. Because, like, I would rather... Good night, Kazik. I would rather, like, just know what there is in the game so I can, like... just do it all and not have to be, like, looking up game facts to see if I missed something, some, like, very specific activation thing. I can just, like, do it and have the satisfaction of, like, a fully complete quest list and, like, knowing that I didn't miss anything, you know? That's nice. And I can also focus on the quest instead of, you know, the process of hunting for them, you know? Also, I took a hydrate, and I'll stretch as well. I do think that they can be fun in certain circumstances that, like, again, an reward for exploring, but I don't know. It's a thing that needs to be balanced, I think. Because there's like a difference between exploring and just like hope you talk to literally every single NPC every single time you get it, even though they usually have entirely irrelevant dialogue about how they're super happy to go back to their job or whatever. I mean, it's nice to see, you know, for atmosphere purposes. I do like that they had it, and I wouldn't have removed that, per se. But, like, it's something that would make more sense and feel right as something that I could, you know, just, like, not do if I didn't care to. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna raid Wiggly, who's doing some art. Just got started. She's very cool. Let's go say hi. She's not on very often, so we gotta take advantage. Yeah, I'll see y'all around. Bye-bye. I'm gonna be back on Thursday night, Friday morning with some Slime Rancher with Miku, who's gonna be joining a little bit into the stream. Just hang out and do some commentary together. Yeah, see ya.